Hello folks, happy Wednesday everybody. Welcome back to Hermione's Horror Reviews. On this channel I do horror book hauls, horror book reviews, both digital and physical content, and maybe audiobooks in the future. Alright, so this video is entitled What I Love About Horror, or What Has Drawn Me to Horror as a Whole. Um, and I also want to add, I'm going to add something else to it, because this is my plan, um, before I start my new job on the 7th, and I will talk about that, towards the end of the video. So, lately, I have been drawn to horror. I had made a point that at the beginning of the year I was going to really focus a lot on fantasy and everything, but what is going on in the fantasy genre is that it is being heavily criticized for things that may or may not be true. And I just feel like that, like every time I open up a fantasy book, that somebody's going to turn around and say, "Oh, that author is a conservative. That author hates these people and these people," and it's really stupid. And I shouldn't feel that way when I open up a book. I should be like, I want to read this book because I'm interested in the content. I'm interested in in the story. Um, but horror is entirely different. Is horror is written by authors that explore the darkness of human nature, and we see a lot of it in today's in the news, in what's going on in the world. We see a lot of darkness, a lot of horror, a lot of manipulation, a lot of it's like as soon as you have doubts about something, the person that you're doubting will come along and feed you something else to reinforce what you believe of them. So horror is definitely something that I'm definitely going to be reading heavily a lot over the next couple of years, especially from like now until like the mid part of like 2029, which is scary in itself. Um, but that's what I'm very drawn to. And there are people I work there is a coworker I work with that does not like horror. She thinks it's too violent. She thinks it's too dark, too evil, and I'm like, well, I guess you're living a horror book anyway, so I get it. But I love horror, and I love how it makes me feel, the emotions I go through, the terror that I go through. It's a very interesting read. One of the probably the most disturbing as of right now that I've read is Madhouse, which is about I believe I told you he's like 9. He runs away from home because of his parents. um, and because he can't stand their fighting, and he gets basically kidnapped by this woman and shackled to this like abandoned house, because the people there know nobody's going to come looking for a kid inside of an abandoned house. It's a perfect place to kidnap people and kill them, because nobody's going to find the dead bodies for until the city decides to tear the house down. Um, but that's the thing about Madhouse, is that it takes something and it turns into something else. Um, Ghost Ghost Camera is another one that you're told one thing and it turns out to be entirely something else. So horror is my favorite genre right now. and I think it'll be my favorite for quite some time. Even I think even past 2029. I will probably be 80 years old reading horror. Um, but that's the thing about horror, is that it allows it allows the nastiness of the world to be explored in a way that hits home and makes you think. And I think that's the great thing about horror. I really do think that's a great thing um, about horror. I want to also add that that there's such that what was it called in, what was it I forgot the name of it. Hit it. Oh, now I got it. Now I got it. Extreme horror. Extreme horror is definitely not my cup of tea. Um, but it does allow authors to be more hardcore. But it's an interesting genre. It really is. Now I want to say one thing before I close this video. I'm planning on to go and see the movie Sinners because it's a vampire horror movie and also has like social commentary, which a lot of people like. And I will see how that goes, and I will do a review of Sinners when I see it. All right, that is my video for today, and I'm not really feeling good right now, so I might not. I don't know if I'm going to read anything today, but I will see you around.